Since the beginning of Islam, the truth it carries has always challenged falsehood, injustice, and corruption. Islam calls mankind to worship one God alone, to live by divine guidance, and to resist systems built on oppression. This powerful message has always unsettled those who benefit from deception and worldly domination. From the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Islam's enemies sought to suppress it by force and slander. In Mecca, Quraysh elites accused him of being a liar, magician, and madman, not because they lacked evidence of his truth, but because Islam threatened their idols, trade, and power. That same pattern echoes throughout history. When Islam spread into Europe, colonial powers later painted it as barbaric, to justify invasion and domination of Muslim lands. Missionaries and Orientalists worked hand in hand to distort Islamic teachings, portraying Muslims as backwards, violent, and in need of civilization. In recent decades, Western powers have intensified efforts to criminalize Islam in the eyes of the world. Through biased media policies and propaganda, they aim to link Islam with terrorism, extremism, and oppression. Words like radical, fanatic, and fundamentalist are carefully chosen to make ordinary people fear Islam instead of seeing its mercy, justice, and beauty. Media campaigns, Hollywood films, and news outlets repeatedly portray Muslims as aggressors, ignoring the millions who live peaceful, spiritual lives. Political agendas. Laws in many countries restrict Islamic practices such as hijab, halal food, or building mosques, presenting them as threats to freedom. Cultural manipulation. By promoting secularism, materialism, and moral relativism, Western ideologies attempt to sway people away from the discipline and purity of Islam. At its core, this hostility arises because Islam offers what the modern world cannot: true salvation, moral clarity, and liberation from man-made systems of injustice. Islam challenges consumerism, immorality, and oppression, pillars of many Western societies. Accepting Islam would mean rejecting the dominance of human desire and submitting to divine truth, a reality that powerful interests fear. Despite centuries of distortion, Islam continues to grow. People across the West are embracing Islam in record numbers: doctors, teachers, athletes, and thinkers, because when they read the Qur'an and study Prophet Muhammad, they discover peace and authenticity they never found elsewhere. Allah promises in the Qur'an, "They want to extinguish the light of Allah with their mouths, but Allah will perfect His light, even if the disbelievers hate it." Quran 61:8. The efforts to criminalize Islam are not new, they are the same old strategy of fear and lies repeated through history. Yet, no matter how much the truth is attacked, it shines brighter. Islam is not just a religion among others, it is the original way of life, the final guidance, and the only true path to salvation. And those who sincerely seek truth will always find that behind the noise, Islam remains unshaken, timeless, and victorious. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world today, not because of its propaganda or efforts from Muslims in propagating the teachings of the Holy Quran, but by the truth, peace, and light it carries, which soften the hardest of hearts, cures the blindness of minds, and lead those whom Almighty Allah have chosen for guidance to the straight path and not the path of those that goes astray. Don't let yourselves to be fooled or led astray by the mainstream media who does the work of enslaving humanity with distortion of good information and messages from Almighty Allah. Grab a copy of the Holy Quran and study today. Indeed, you will find a divine mercy and guidance from Almighty Allah, something soothing to the soul and an inner peace never felt before. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more insight into the first and last religion, Islam, from God to mankind. Its core principles and teachings as the ultimate guidance.